Simulcast, the Neil Haley Show and the Mina Valentin Show with our host, Mina and Valentin. Mina, what are we going to talk about today?
I wanted to tell you, and I did this on TikTok last night. So if you saw my um, thing on TikTok last night, this is going to be kind of like a rerun. But I got to drive all by myself for the first time since February, and I was so excited. And I went to the grocery store, and I stopped by a couple of places and said hello. It was nice. But on the way home, driving back, I started thinking about my characters and women in how they got to get around. You know, women, especially the middle class and upper class ladies, they could not get out by themselves. A lot of women in the upper classes rode horses. They were equestrians, I suppose, of some kind, but they had to ride side saddle, and they could only ride during the day, and they had to have an escort, their father, a brother, or even a groomsman to go with them. And I suppose one aspect of it is that it does secure them somewhat as far as safety is concerned. The roads were not really very good, and horses do what horses do, whether they're running or whatever. They used to have these kids during that time, and if you and I decided we were going to cross the street, one of these little boys would run up, and maybe for a penny or something, he would sweep all the horse manure and all the debris off the road so they could walk across the street. So, I mean, that gives you just a hint about how nasty it really was. But, and ladies could get out in a carriage of some kind with a friend during the day, but they had to have someone with them then. And most of the time, in some of these smaller ones, they had a young man who called the tiger. Now, why they came up with that, I don't know. That was what they called him. And they rode outside of the carriage on the back, like they rode on the back bumper. And their job was to help them in, help them out. If they had packages, he was the mule, carried all their things for them. But women, they wouldn't go too far. I think the types of shopping that they would do during the day would be going to someplace like Gunther's to have tea and biscuits, or they would go to the modiste for a new gown, or they'd go to a bookstore. That was a big place to meet, socialize, along with Gunther's. They had different kinds of carriages. They had a phaeton, which was a small, low to the ground kind of. It was for two people, and they typically were pulled by two ponies. But that was to go around, like I was saying, to the store. And then they had a jaunty, Jaunty, and that was almost like for show, because there were two times in the day when the ladies and the gentlemen would go to the park to see and be seen. That was the social time. And so they could take the jaunty. Another one was the chaise, and the chaise was, I think it could be on two wheels or four wheels. It could be with one horse or two horses. It had a cover overhead, which was nice. Um, but their their world, if they were doing these kind of things, it was a pretty small world. Um, Going to the library, the modiste, and to a place to have an afternoon tea. Not a, but they didn't care. I think the whole world was kind of small. You know, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, yeah, I think, and in the aristocracy, everybody knew each other. It's like I graduated in a class of over 500 students. I think it was seven something. And I didn't know them all, but I recognized them. I knew they were in my class, and probably a good three-quarters of them I knew from when I was in the very first grade. So this is kind of the relationship. I'm trying to equate that so you can understand the similarities. Their world was small. Um, if they if they went on a honeymoon, they probably went to Europe. Going to France and Italy was a big deal then, and it was a rite of passage for young men after they graduated from university. They would typically go on a year long sabbatical and sow their oats, so to speak. But that's their travel. Oh, and another thing is if if you were going to, London is in the southeast section of England, and to get to the northern part at the border of Scotland, it'd take you 4 or 5 days because a horse can only go like 25 to 30 miles a day in a 10-hour day. So that's problematic. And women, if they did ride, they rode side saddle, they had to. Um, and they they hadn't invented drawers yet. So under their dresses was nothing. And that could get a little painful after a while. They didn't come out with underwear until I think between the first quarter and the first half of the 1800s. And they weren't the kind of underwear that you and I think of. They were long. They came down below the knees. Some of them could even go down to the ankles. They had a huge slit in the crotch,
Wow.
so that women could go to the bathroom standing
Oh
up.
my goodness.
Yeah, they had these things
Yeah.
that looked like gravy boats, and some lady in the bathroom would hold their skirt or their dress up so they could put that bowl underneath between their legs, and she could pee standing up.
All right. Okay. So people want more information. They can go to minavalentine.com, purchase her books, learn more about her, check her out on TikTok. Appreciate it, Mina, and we'll talk
Thank
soon.
you. Okay, so
That was
good. Bye
that
bye.
was a special simulcast of the Neil Hay Show and the Mina Valentine Show, guys. Take care.